What's up, YouTube? It's your extravagant gamer Ice Boy here, and I'm gonna go to part 2 of how I got my car. So, me and my friend Caleb were searching for a car for the longest time, and it was more than just me and Caleb searching for a car. By the way, I had like several friends try to go out. And wherever they drove with their nice cars, I would say, hey, while you have the time, since you're just driving by, maybe you could look for a car. And then I had just several people out doing that. And so they didn't really find a car, and me and my friend continued looking. I remember I saw one car that I really wanted. It was like for $3,000. It was a Mazda Miata. And anybody who knows me is that I have a thing for Miatas like crazy. It all like started on Need for Speed, and I was always choosing a Miata, because it was a little car that like bent around sideways and shit like that. It was just the coolest shit ever. So I always wanted to be a Miata, which is kind of why I got the car that I have now in the way that it looks like, and plus it was $500, so I couldn't really turn that down. But how I found my car, I guess you call him ex-friend Anthony, he had moved to Wisconsin because of his mom and a whole bunch of junk that I kind of went through and he went through, and that night was just the most horrible thing. But he came back and he didn't have anywhere to stay, so he stayed with this guy who is originally the person that I got my car from. I can't really remember his name at all. I think it's all with an R. Well, we just gonna call him Burly Dude. So Burly Dude, he had the car out and he was working on it because he got it from some old guy, and the old guy was telling him that the engine worked perfectly. He just didn't drive it as much, and he just needed to get it off his property because we just taking space. And so there was little things wrong with it, like the head of the engine, it had blown a head gasket, so he had put another head gasket on that, and the convertible roof was ripped, so he put another convertible roof, and all that was like, I think it's $2,000 job. It would probably come out to be like that. He told me that was right. And when we first saw him with the car, he was like he wasn't going to sell it. But then like 3 months passed, and eventually we went back checking on Anthony and everything because we used to hang out with him a lot. And we noticed that he was selling the car. And I get Pell Grant money so for my college. So I get around $2,000 probably each semester. And I had like $1,000 in my pocket. $1,000 in my pocket to spend after I had, went on shopping sprees, buying everything that I want to buy. So while I had $1,000 in my pocket at the time, and the car he was selling it for $500. And I was like, you know what, this car is $500 easy down. If you're trying to look for a car, you have no problem accepting the deal for a car that works perfectly for $500, and which the car did work perfectly. But with me and my mom, I can't go out spending just $500, then explaining to her, oh, it just disappeared and a car appeared out in in front of the house. So I had to get her blessings, which I didn't. I did not get my mom's blessings at all. I went behind her back and bought that car, and I'm pretty glad I did. But before I even bought it, I wasn't just stupid enough to go out and buy a car that I didn't know that it didn't work. So one of Caleb's mom's friends, he's a mechanic, so we got him to go over there and look at the car. And what Burly Dude said that was wrong with it, that was wrong with it. it has something. What was it? It had a leak where smoke would just come out the back of it. No, the engine would smoke. But that was just something wrong with the time belt, and if something's wrong with the time belt, that can be easily fixed. But you have to pick up the engine itself and then put the bit down back in there, which any mechanic can charge around $400 easy for something that's so simple. And what else was wrong with it? It was something else, but I can't think about it right now. And so after we found out that was all was wrong with it, we took a driver's test, you know, to see how it worked. I drove, Caleb sat in the passenger side. My first time driving him, felt kind of good. And so we just went down the road, went around the block, you know, drove perfectly. Just saying, just wonderful. I was like, you know, this is gonna be my car that I'm gonna be driving in. My first car, you know. So yeah, sooner or later, I finally took him to check $500 and I bought my car. And at this time, I couldn't drive my car. Because, you know, when you buy a car, you have to go up to the office and get like a tag for it and all that other stuff. And that isn't cheap at all. If you do this stuff by yourself, you'll find out that isn't cheap. Getting like a tag for it costs $400. $400, almost the same as me buying a car itself. Just for some little metal plate that I could probably get arrested off of, and that would cost me even more money. Kind of a bad thing, you know. That cost me $400, and like I said, I had $1,000. And then there was other stuff that was wrong. I had to buy, you know, like gas, because the thing kept leaking. That's what it was. That's what it was. It kept leaking oil. Something was wrong with the gas. The gas cans, not the oil can itself, and it kept leaking. And we found out that it needed a little thing. It goes in between the engine itself and the gas can. I forgot what it's called. And it seals so the gas doesn't leak. The oil doesn't leak. Shit. Excuse me. I didn't have a mechanic fix my car at all. It was just me and my grandpa. And so in order to fix that, I had to go under the car, take the oil can off itself, put the new thing in between it, and then I still found out that the oil still leaked. And so one day, which is going to be part 3 of this story, I had to go under the car at Burger King, and it was a horrible day. But that's the end of the story, I guess. Well, see you later until part 3.
Last night I took the hoopty for a ride, ready for a road trip. I'm on a highway, sitting sideways, feeling focused. I'm on the road, haters be in my rear view vision, keeping so forward from this weird new distance. The top's looking closer as I breathe deep stress, pinpointing my new goal into my GPS and ventured out over the speed limit. Why not? When my heart